This is the Yankees Postcast, your instant game reaction for the New York Yankees. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, it was fun while it lasted, but the win streak is over at 5. Cubs beat the Yankees in a matinee affair in the Bronx today, 5-2. Max Fried got the start for the Bombers, didn't last very long. 3 innings total, however, left index finger blister. So we'll have to wait for an update on that. Meanwhile, the offense, which had scored at least 5 runs in 10 straight games, well, obviously that streak is over as well. Chicago Cubbies starter Matt Boyd was dominant, going the first 8 for the Cubbies. All of it sets up a rubber game of 3 on Sunday afternoon. Hello, everybody. I'm Jay Berman. If you're a New Yorker, you might recognize my work. If not, welcome aboard. I've spent more than 2 decades in the biz, everything from TV to web to radio. Glad to have you aboard. Please follow me on X as well, at Jay Berman, Jayberman. Welcome to the Locked On Yankees Postcast, both on the Locked On Yankees YouTube channel and the Locked On Yankees podcast feed. The Postcast gives you a place to chat after every single game. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Before we begin, today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your very first purchase. And away we go.
This is what you'll be talking about.
All right, so a pair of streaks, almost 3 streaks coming to an end. Thankful for Cody Bellinger's double in the 9th inning, which extended his hit streak to 17. More on that coming up. But again, the win streak's over at 5. The consecutive games scoring at least 5 runs is over at 10, and that's only because of Aaron Judge. Had 2 doubles and a 2-run home run. More on Judge coming up. He was the offense for the Yankees, and of course, the home run came in the 9th inning. So the Yankees were, for the better part of 2.5 to 3 hours, blanked by the Cubs. Matt Boyd, no surprise why he is an all-star. All right. As we said, 5+ runs in 10 straight games. That's history. Yanks plated 2 in the 9th on the Judge home run, the 350th of his career. He's the fastest player ever to get to 350 home runs in his career. It took him 1,088 games. Today was the 1,088th game of Judge's career. And again, home run number 350. We'll discuss the loss, obviously, in excess here. But one more thing about Judge, because I saw it and I figured you'd want to hear it as well. Judge is now 7th all-time on the Yankee home run list, 1 behind A-Rod, who's in 6th at 351. So he'll pass A-Rod any day now. Yogi Berra is in 5th place with 358. A couple of weeks from now, Judge will be past that. In the 4th spot, which is probably the last guy he can catch this year, is Joe DiMaggio at 361. So in a matter of a couple of weeks, Judge could easily vault into the 4th position on the Yankees all-time home run list, past DiMaggio, past Yogi, and obviously past A-Rod as well. One more time, Judge 350th career home run, the 35th this season. He is the fastest player ever to get to 350 home runs in his career. Again, game 1,088. More importantly, Judge is not a problem. The left index finger of Max Fried could very well prove to be a problem. Now, he's not going to pitch in the All-Star game. He wasn't going to anyways because he wasn't lined up to pitch, which is why he was replaced by Carlos Rodon on the American League roster. However, Fried now has to deal with the blister. And obviously, it's something he's dealt with in the past. And it comes at a good time, relatively speaking, a good time, because he's going to get at least a week off. Yankees, of course, don't open up the second half until Friday. So a week from yesterday. Against who? The Braves in Atlanta. So Fried is going to pitch in that series. The question is, will he be 100%? Hopefully, as we knock on wood. So he left the game with a blister on his left index finger, and you could tell he was laboring. They talked about it on the broadcast multiple times. He was searching, is what they called it, searching for his stuff, could not find it. He faced 18 batters. 18 batters. 9 of them reached. So again, he was trouble from the get-go. He gave up more than 3 earned runs only once through his first 15 starts. Well, things have changed. He's now allowed 3 runs plus in 4 of his last 5 outings to finish the first half. So yes, he's an all-star. Yes, his record and ERA are still dazzling. By the way, 11-3 now with a 2.43 ERA. However, he's certainly not the hottest pitcher on the planet going to Atlanta for the All-Star game. So will, 1, need to get him healthy, and 2, more importantly, need to get him right. As we said, he only faced 18 batters today. Half of them reached, which for Fried is unheard of. Fried takes the loss, just his 3rd of the season. 3 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 3 walks, 2 Ks through 73 pitches. He was absolutely going to continue to pitch if it was not for the blister. As we said, 73 pitches, only 39 for strikes. Now, as for the bullpen, mighty good. Hamilton, Efros, Loizaga, Hill, and Brubaker, with 1 exception. And of course, you know it by now. His name is Jonathan Loizaga, and he can't stop giving up home runs. He's allowed 7 home runs in 23rd and a third innings this year. By far the most he's ever given up in a season. He just can't get it figured out. So again, who knows if you can even call him a liability at this point. Point being, there are liberties taken by the opposing team, and they're doing it via the long ball. They are blasting Jonathan Loizaga. Now, as we said, scoreless inning from Brubaker as we go backwards, scoreless inning from Hill, scoreless inning from Efros, and 2 scoreless innings from Ian Hamilton. So with that minor exception of the home run he gave up to Kelly, excellent work by the bullpen today. Now, it comes in a loss and the streak is over. But, and of course you use 5 relievers, but point is, it kept him in the game. The Yankees actually brought the tying run to the on-deck circle, which was surprising. It felt a little bit like the Seattle game from several nights back. But again, this comes in the loss as the Yankees were just too far behind the Cubbies. Yanks back to 11 games over 500 at 53-42. They are 30-18 at home, which is obviously excellent. The Cubs, who have really, despite the fact that they have good players and got off to such a good start, continue to surprise. They have really had an amazing year, 56-39 overall. Now, from their perspective, the Brewers are getting close in the National League Central, which is obviously not much of our concern. However, just goes to show they're not running away with anything either. Awesome rubber game of 3 on Sunday between Will Warren for the Yanks and Shota Imanaga for the Cubbies. All right, as we said, Jonathan Loizaga has now given up 7 home runs. It was Austin Wells' birthday today, by the way. Just 26. He did have a hit. He's now hitting 216. But more importantly, from an offensive perspective, putting aside Judge, Cody Bellinger extends his hit streak to 17 with the opposite field double in the 9th inning. A seemingly, we'll call it worthless double at the time. But again, one, it allowed Judge to get up and hit a home run. But more importantly, Bellinger now has a 17-game hit streak. And you may not think that's important, but I guarantee you Cody does. So job well done in the 9th inning with the opposite field double for Bellinger, who, by the way, through the streak has upped his average to 285. And speaking of averages, Aaron Judge, who had 3 hits, 2 doubles, and a home run today, now hitting 358. On base 465, slugging 739. Just an amazing year Aaron Judge is having. And he, at the worst, is going into the All-Star break with 35 home runs. Now, in case you missed it, Cal Raleigh hit 2 more yesterday, now has 38. So it's very unlikely Judge gets to the lead by the All-Star break. Of course, just 1 more game to go. But still, what a first half from Judge. As we said, right now, he's hitting 358 with 35 home runs and now has 81 RBIs. He eclipses 80 RBIs, now has 81 on the season. We'll have an update on Luis Gil, and obviously we'll get you set for the rubber game of 3 tomorrow afternoon. All right, get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trades. That's Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400-plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Don't we all? Well, Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, well, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. Supplyhouse.com. All right, up next is game time. Have you ever decided at the last minute to head to a ball game with friends or family? Maybe it's game day, and you suddenly realize you want to be in the stands. Well, that's exactly where Game Time comes in. It's the easiest way to grab last-minute tickets without the stress. With the money you save on tickets, you can splurge on food, drinks, merch, or even invite a bigger group to come with you. Game Time makes it quite possible. All right, Game Time makes buying tickets fast and simple. Prices on the app actually drop the closer you get to first pitch, and they've got incredible last-minute deals, clear seat views, and a lowest price guarantee that takes the worry out of buying. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. All right, we are back, and it's time for, you guessed it,
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
He's probably going to be voted player of the game the most this year. Of course, it's Aaron Judge. 3 hits, ups his average to 358. And, of course, he was the only Yankee last night in an 11-0 rout that did not have a hit. So what does he do? Makes up for it today, despite the fact that it comes in a loss. 2 doubles and the home run. Obviously, the home run noteworthy. The 350th of his career. The fastest human being to 350 career home runs in the major leagues. It comes in his 1,088th game. Amazing stuff from Aaron Judge as he goes 3 for 4. Now 7th all-time Yankee home run list, 1 behind A-Rod for 6th, 8 behind Yogi Berra for 5th, and 11 behind Joe DiMaggio for 4th. All right, we'll have to find out a little bit more about Max Fried and where we go for here. Obviously, there won't be much of an update other than the fact that there's a blister. We need to let that heal. But again, it comes at the perfect time. Fried will not pitch before Friday. So, and that's where the Yankees return to action after the All-Star break. Friday in Atlanta with 3 against the Braves. And Fried will obviously pitch one of those games. Not sure which one it will be. Hopefully, he'll be healthy by then. As we said earlier, he's now allowed 3+ runs in 4 of his last 5 outings to finish the first half. So he did not finish on a good note. 5-2 the final score. Cubs beat the Yankees. Luis Gil will start his rehab assignment with Somerset tomorrow. So the clock starts tomorrow. That according to Aaron Boone. As for tomorrow, on the big league level, it'll be the rubber game of 3 between the Yanks and the Cubs. Will Warren for the Bombers, Shota Imanaga for the Cubbies. Again, rubber game of 3. Yanks are 53 and 42. We'll have to sit back and wait for the Rays and Blue Jays and Red Sox, who are not too far behind, have to wait for those results. It's the good and bad of playing the first game of the day. You get it out of the way, but you got to wait for your rivals to finish their game. All right, thanks for making Locked On Yankees your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Also want to mention our partners in crime at Locked On Yankees, Stacey Goudsoulias and Brian McKeon. Again, all the stuff at Locked On Yankees is there, so follow, subscribe, and enjoy. Again, 5-2, the final score. Yanks lose. Their win streak is over. The streak of 5 or more runs in 10 consecutive games is over. Cody Bellinger's hit streak was almost over until a double in the ninth inning extended it to 17 games, so kudos to him. And as we said, Aaron Judge, the hitting star, 2 doubles and a home run, the 35th of the season for him and the 350th of his career. As we said, rubber game of 3, 1:35 first pitch tomorrow, and we'll be with you immediately following Yanks and Cubs. Have a great Saturday night, everyone.